Hey everybody out there, my name's Conrad. Welcome to my page. This is something I've been sitting on for a while. Kind of felt like this has been an assignment from God, to be completely honest. I know some people might think that sounds weird, but yeah, it's been on my to-do list for a number of years, and one thing I want to try to do is just be completely honest about myself, my life, everything. And so with that being said, the first biggest thing that has stopped me is just kind of fear. Been afraid for a number of reasons. Exposing myself, right, to people, letting down the facade of who I want people to think I am or see me as. Another thing is just, even as a teen, I would think this about myself, like I've had a fear of success. I want to go and explain a lot of myself and my life on this channel and stuff. I kind of feel like this is going to be some therapy for me. I've been going through therapy. I've been on this path of self-healing like many other people out there in the world right now. Just examining myself, examining my past, and kind of just trying to figure out why I am the way I am, why I do the things that I do. And the biggest motivator for that obviously is just my family, my kids, my wife, doing things wrong, making mistakes, and parenting and being a husband out of what's been programmed in me, as opposed to what I feel is right. And so yeah, there's a lot of things I kind of want to discuss. There's a couple conversations me and my wife have been having that I feel like are really important. A lot of people might want to add to the conversation, or I just think it's some important things that we need to talk about as Christians and just as Americans. One of the big motivators to get over the fear that I've had is the death of Charlie Kirk and the reaction. And I just felt really strong in my spirit that like the evil is just like, there's too much. There's just too much evil for me to sit back and be quiet any longer. Like I just can't. I have to speak up. There's things that I have to say, things I need to share. And in God's own way, he made the timing perfect, because I feel like I would have been canceled already if I would have started sooner on the things I need to talk about. For instance, a lot of my testimony would be in the classification of supernatural. Like I've had supernatural things happen in my life, and you can't share those things with everyone. Some people will look at you like you're crazy. Some people have never experienced the spirit realm, so you start talking about it and they're like, oh, okay, yeah. They just like write you off, Unfortunately, a lot of like really intelligent people I've had that kind of reaction from. People that are really educated and, maybe have, a lot of the times the people that are like that are, I would have to say, like, have been more well off. There's something about the struggle of poverty, and the people that are in that life that expose you to certain things that maybe people that are a little bit more well off and kept safe don't get to experience like the rest of us. For instance, like I was molested a number of times by different people when I was a kid. And for the longest time, that was a burden that I carried, and I never shared it with anyone, and it ate me alive for most of my adolescence and my teens, and I was so confused by it. And I'll get into that later. I'll give more description of that, and I feel like that's a discussion in itself, It's a trip, because a lot of different periods of my life, I feel like could be movies, like just the year that I met my now wife. That year I lived at a house with a bunch of guys. It was just party season, crazy. animal house, you know, atmosphere, and a lot of fun, a lot of crazy. And that in itself, I've had like ideas for a movie, like a killer movie, with a lot of heart, a lot of fun, a lot of, you know, craziness. But yeah, no, I feel like I need to share my story now because it is a testament to God's love, the love of Jesus, His mercy, His grace. I really would not be here today filming this if God didn't save me time and time again. Time and time again, He's been there for me, and He's brought me to a place now in my life where I can't deny Him ever. You know, grew up in church. First was saved when I was in high school. It became really real to me for the first time when I was about 16 years old. But because of a lot of the trauma that I had and also I've identified because I didn't have a team around me discipling me, I fell away shortly, like maybe within the first year of getting saved. Like I backslid, and then I was on my own for like 20 years. Going to church, I did get baptized in that time, but it was like always half in, half out. And then in 2018, the Lord just like busted into my life in a way that, again, was like one of those periods that could be a movie in itself. It was just such an amazing time. And again, I'll go into all that stuff later in no more detail. But all that to say, I shared that because it's like God is so real to me now that I can't ever deny Him. I can't ever doubt His sovereignty and how much He's been protecting me and what He's going to do with my life. He did give me a promise when I was a senior, and I'm still waiting to see that come to fruition, but I have faith it's going to happen. You know, it's just, I feel like I've had to take the long way around. I've had to learn lessons the hard way, unfortunately. But I hope to help people not, you know, in many ways, my story, especially when I was in my teens and 20s, it's like what not to do. I can tell you exactly what not to do in order to be successful in this world, you know. Yeah, just I hope you guys enjoy my page. Oh yeah, another thing, I just want to share my interests. I have a lot of interests. Really active person, and I love encouraging other people to be active. I taught karate for like 15 years, so that was an amazing period as well. Another movie. But yeah, I want to share my interests. I want to share my story. I want to share who I am. There's just a lot of things about the way I am that I feel like people could benefit from. Our American culture is freaking just insane. I hope we can just like all agree on that and maybe start there. You know, like things have just gotten so freaking insane. Being that I'm 41 years old, thinking about how the world was when I was a kid, it was like half of this stuff wouldn't have flown. You know, when Sound of Freedom came out, like if that would have came out in the 90s, like the world would have flipped, because we had we had much more of a connection. There was much more of like a body, but we're all divided right now. We're all divided, and if anyone knows anything about battle, you gotta divide to conquer. Divide and conquer. So we need to come together, guys, and yeah, unity. There's a lot of things that we could stand on together. There are a lot of things we could stand on together, no matter how different we are. We actually have a lot more in common than we do different. And that's not just for America, that's for the whole world. You know, we're all human. We all deserve life, happiness, freedom. And so we have to work together to make sure we get there, though. All right, guys, I gotta go. See you soon.